Hello, please welcome in our presentation. This is presentation for our grouping. We are the first group. Now in this time we want to present about the topic language assessment, concept and issues. Language assessment and issues. This is one topic of the lesson about language testing and evaluation by our lecturer, Dr. Kamar Sipayung, MPD. I say a honorable for our lecturer, Dr. Kamar Sipayung, MPD. Now we are studying in Magister of English Education, University HKBP Nomensen, Medan. Hello, my friend, and especially for our lecture, before we going our present our topic today, let me introduce myself for you. Hi friends, it's me, Dewi Maya Manurung. And my friend Christiani Ginting, we are from the first group. In this time, we want to present about language assessment and concept issues. The first in here, this is the topic we want to present for us. The first is about assessment and testing, and the second type of assessment and classroom-based assessment, and the last one, this is talking about current issues and assessment. All of about this presentation we want to present and explain for us what is about the assessment and testing, what is about type of assessment, and what is about classroom assessment, and what is the current issues. This is all of want to explain for us the topic in our presentation. Okay. The first is assessment and testing. We know all of you must understand what is the meaning of assessment. Assessment is identify or evaluation the current condition or current process or something. Is it a kind of synopsis of the ability of conditional of language learner? Can be formative or summative. Assessment can be formative and summative. We know what is a formative. Formative we can do after finish our learning by directly. This is we know how to long understand our student about our material. This is formative. We can do daily test. Yes, this is formative. Or after finish giving the lesson for the student, we can do formative. So about the summative, this is the end of the course. This is the end of the course. This is assessment to know after finish all of the material to give the assessment. This is summative. And next, testing. What is testing? Testing a type of assessment that typically used in instrument that measuring a skill. A database or content domain can test performance and competence. Now, test, we know we are a teacher to know about the performance of the student. We can do by formal or informal. And next we can test about the attitude, skill and knowledge. Yes, attitude, knowledge and skill. This is the type of the test. And then this is a test about the competence. Yes, competence. This is attitude, skill and knowledge. About the performance also about the attitude. And then testing we can by formal on informal. Formal on informal. Informal, for example, we can giving testing to know the good attitude. We can, for example, while learning doing, we can look at what is more active and polite for our student. This is the test about informal attitude. Okay, next, measurement and evaluation. What is measurement? Measurement is quantifying, observe the performance. Yes. And next, measurement. This is divided by two, quantitative and qualitative. What is quantitative? Quantitative, this is data typically found on the test, rubric, and checklist. Yes, if you want to know quantitative observe a performance, we can make the data by phone of the test, by rubric and checklist. Yes. Qualification, qualitative data. This is include description of observe the performance. This is observe the performance. Yes. Then what is evaluation? Evaluation, the assessment of measurement of performance. Assessment, measurement, or performance. Yes. This is evaluation. Assessment and learning. Assessment and learning, we can see for this diagram. Okay, this we can the first test, we can see the measurement, doing the assessment and teaching. We can do all of, yes, all of the step. This is the name, the evaluation. Yes. And next, assessment include opportunities for student and teacher to hypothesize and evaluate learning, teaching activities, tests, and teaching. Next, what is assessment characteristic? Assessment characteristic, the first is formal and informal. What is informal? Unplanned, without planning, observe of student activity that is a core of the search with the learner. This is the characteristic of assessment informal, without planning. Yes. You can see directly to check, observe the student activity, who is more active, who is polite, who is more clever, understand, easy to understand. This is directly without planning. You can observe for the student. And next, formal, systematic plan synopsis of the student activity. We can write the plan, how to observe the student activity. Yes, this is about to know about the value, the point to get of the student. Next, the characteristic assessment. This is formative. Formative is tentative evaluation of student learning, provide a synopsis of current learning and distance to determine the goals. This is directly to know how long understand student to know about our lessons. For example, now we are learning one topic for our student, and then we want to know how long they are understand about our material. We can do formative tests, daily formative tests after finish one subject for 1 day or for 1 minute to know the student understand. We can do the test formative. So about summative. Summative, this is the end of the course or unit measurement of determine whether learners have accomplished the course of object. This is the end of the course. And we know usually do in our school summative we can do 1 semester. After finish all of the material 1 semester, we can do in the course. Yes, we can do at the end of the test, to finally that we know our duration. This is finished for one semester. This is summative test. Next, no reference it. Test taker evaluated again the group what the mean or median standard deviation, percent, rank, and identified. The next, gradation references test taker are evaluated of species information typically present in a course.
Type of assessment. One of type of assessment is achievement test. This is where you measure the skills, the ability of the material directly taught in the course. For example, someone is learning how big is the cake, and he gonna be measure it directly because directly taught material in the course. If you have achieved the goals for this particular unit, this particular course and particular performance, that would be achievement type of the test. We have diagnostic tests where you are in the material. For example, you find out what linguistic syntactic ability, speaking skill ability, and you can gain and you can find out the strength or find out the weaknesses, and you can put the level of material in the course. And the third one is placement test. Placement test is basically of the type of the test of the proficiency diagnostic. It's more proficiency because you simply saying like, for example, here's your general ability again everybody else, and we're gonna put in this level, and placement test will be done directly, and it will be a style of placement test. And we also have a proficiency test. Proficiency test measure the knowledge, like compare to under second language, the learners, and also native speaker. It's a test of general ability, not specific, and not specific that you are actually measuring. For example, of the proficiency test is TOEFL test. And the last one is aptitude test. Aptitude test is kind of going out knowledge popular that used to be aptitude test that likely you could will do in learning language, or likely you do well in learning. And now we go to issues in learning assessment. Now let's talk about it. Behavior and psychological language related studies and focus and specific segment of language. The fourth skill, the two database, and assessments centered on valid, reliable, objective proficiency type of test. In the other words, behavior in the other words, behavior in areas that test only focus on skill. For example, the learners only focus on grammar. For example, focus on writing or focus on reading, and the test only focus when the learners focus on grammar and writing, and in the assessing, they also only focus on those. And integrative process focus on whole language in context types of measurement. Integrative approach are thought to be better measure of overall language. The big difference between segmented and integrative type one is if I do only reading test or writing test, for the most part I going to get part of the skill, and I'm not going to get the general ability. And now we go to communicative language. In this edition, we also have the different component in potential having and integrating whole language type of the approach. We have competence that language user or language learner need to be understand or master, like vocabulary, grammar, morphology, phonology, and etc. And in textual competence, the learner or the user of the language need to understand or need to master cohesion, rhetorical organization. Rhetorical organization, those are like more than writing, more than reading, more than speaking, but they also need to understand because culture and language organized is differently. Some more direct, some are nuanced, or some new place and different information in different location. And we also have pragmatic competence. If someone asks about what does it mean, and is the what is their attention, like, and it depending in the culture that you in, and the what and what there's going to be different culture, and there's going to be a different manipulation in use the language. we need to understand what those unspoken things are. For example, in my culture, if I go to the restaurant and I sit in some in my table, the table no, there's no salt, and I need salt, and I ask the waiters, and I ask the waiters, do you have any salt? uh, Maybe in some culture, they are not understand that I need salt. There's my question is yes or no question, right? But there are there's any spoken language. In the spoken language, it means that I need salt, and the waiters need to give me the salt, like that. And maybe in the some culture, they are not understand like that. And we also have sociolinguistic competence. There are dialect sensitive, register sensitive, naturalness sensitive, and cultural reference. All of this need to understand tools, and somehow maybe should be assessed in learning language. And now we go to the next slide. Performance-based assessment. Unlike the more traditional paper-based assessment, performance-based assessments design opportunities to demonstrate language proficiency in some performance activity like paper or a presentation, mock interview, and impact to conversation, and etc. Point to remember: guideposts and diagnostic. The first one is to increase motivation, and the second one to develop autonomous learners, and the third one to assess language teaching effectiveness, and the last one is to encourage language acquisition. That's all our presentation. Thank you for watching this video. I also want to thank to our lecturer, Mr. Kamarsi Payung, and also to all of our classmates. Hope you guys stay healthy and God bless you. I also hope from this video you guys can get get a new knowledge, and thank you. God bless you and see you. Bye bye.